We all know that being a former president is no easy feat, but Trump has taken his personal security to an entirely new level. Whether you admire him, dislike him, or simply can't look away from his tweets, there's no denying that the security surrounding Donald Trump is truly remarkable. From Secret Service agents to high-tech gadgets straight out of a spy movie, we're about to dive into the extraordinary security measures taken to protect one of the most controversial figures in modern history, and we're breaking down every detail. If you are fascinated by the lavish lifestyles and extraordinary measures of the world's richest and most powerful people, hit the subscribe button and join us as we reveal the secrets of the rich and famous. We're about to embark on a thrilling journey, starting with a look at the history of security measures around Trump. The most shocking and recent chapter in this story occurred on July 13, 2024, at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. What was supposed to be a triumphant moment in Trump's third campaign for the Republican nomination turned into a scene of chaos and terror that shocked the nation. As Trump took the stage, the atmosphere was electric. Supporters cheered and waved flags, eagerly awaiting his speech. With his signature confidence, Trump kicked off his address by sharing a chart with border-crossing statistics. But just minutes in, the unthinkable happened. Gunshots rang out, shattering the jubilant atmosphere and throwing the crowd into chaos. Trump, visibly shocked, clutched his bleeding right ear. Secret Service agents, expertly trained for moments like these, sprang into action. They rushed onto the stage and formed a human shield around Trump. Their swift response was a clear testament to their dedication and professionalism. Yet the danger was far from over. The gunman, later identified as Thomas Matthew Cooks, had positioned himself on the roof of a nearby building, armed with an AR-style rifle. Cooks had a clear line of sight, with the stage less than 150 meters away, well within the rifle's range. As the shots continued to ring out, initial confusion among the crowd turned into sheer panic. Screams echoed as people either dropped to the ground or scrambled to find safety. Amid the chaos, one person lost their life, and two others were critically injured. The scene was one of absolute terror, with cries for help and desperate attempts to escape. Secret Service agents focused on getting Trump to safety, quickly escorting him to his SUV and evacuating him from the venue. Despite the gravity of the situation, Trump remained defiant. As he was led away, he raised his fist in the air, a gesture of resolve that was captured on video and went viral. On social media, Trump recounted the incident, describing the moment he felt the bullet graze his ear and the subsequent bleeding. His campaign assured the public that he was fine. The FBI's investigation confirmed that Cooks acted alone. The 20-year-old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, had no prior criminal record, and his motives remain unclear. Nevertheless, the attack was the most serious attempt on a presidential candidate's life since Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981. The incident underscored the deep political divides and the ever-present threat of violence in America. The aftermath of the shooting drew a wave of reactions from political figures and the public. President Joe Biden, Trump's opponent, condemned the violence, calling it horrifying and unacceptable. The attack led to heightened security measures at political events, with the Secret Service implementing new protocols to protect candidates. The Butler rally shooting marked yet another chapter in Trump's history of facing significant threats. In truth, it wasn't an isolated event, but rather the culmination of years of enduring security challenges and threats that have become a constant in his public life. From his early days in real estate to his time as president in the White House, Donald Trump has always prioritized personal safety. But how much does it cost to maintain a multi-million-dollar security operation? Obviously, protecting a former president isn't cheap. But just how expensive is it? The cost of keeping Trump safe is truly staggering. First, let's break down what the Secret Service has spent on Trump's properties. According to government records collected and analyzed by Crew, the Secret Service spent close to $2 million at Trump's properties. This figure includes around $1.75 million paid directly to Trump-owned businesses, along with additional expenditures, bringing the total to nearly $2 million. One of the biggest expenses came from Mar-a-Lago, commonly referred to as the Winter White House. Documents obtained by Crew through the Freedom of Information Act show that the Secret Service paid over $300,000 to safeguard Trump and his family at the private club. During his presidency, Trump made 146 visits to his Palm Beach club. Despite visiting many times before 2018, the records don't show any payments to Mar-a-Lago until that year, even though it's known that those visits incurred tens of thousands of dollars in Secret Service spending. One source argued that the fact Trump visited his properties nearly 550 times while in office was bad enough, but it was worse that he appeared to use these trips to profit from taxpayer money through Secret Service protection. One of the standout features of Trump's presidency was how much time he spent golfing. It's not just that he spent nearly a quarter of his days in office at a golf course, but also that he almost exclusively played at courses bearing his name. Many of Trump's golf courses follow a naming convention of Trump National Golf Club followed by the nearest city. This created problems in the expense records, as most entries were listed simply as Trump National Golf Club without specifying the location, although his Doral course was categorized separately. While we can't know for sure which golf courses Trump visited, records indicate that the Secret Service spent over $850,000 at his golf properties, and additional reports suggest the total could be closer to $1 million. Furthermore, the Washington Post pointed out that some expenses for Mar-a-Lago might have been mislabeled as Trump National Golf Clubs, given that there is a Trump golf course in Jupiter, Florida. This suggests the true cost might have been obscured. Similarly, the documents often listed all his hotels as Trump International Hotel, including the now-closed Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. The records show that over $400,000 was spent at Trump hotels, while other reports estimate the real total to be much higher. For example, the Washington Post discovered that the Secret Service spent nearly $50,000 at Trump's Washington Hotel in 2016. However, the newer documents don't list any payments for that property until February 2017. This isn't to question the legitimacy of these expenses. Clearly, the president and his family need protection. But Trump, who is purportedly a billionaire, was the first president in generations to not release his tax returns, making it difficult to verify his true wealth. Additionally, these weren't personal residencies. Because the Secret Service is still required to protect Trump, spending at his properties has continued from his time in office. These locations are resorts and hotels, and he didn't need to charge the Secret Service to stay there. However, Eric Trump, who, along with his brother Don Jr., was running the family business at the time, claimed they only charged the Secret Service for housekeeping costs. In reality, Trump chose to profit from the Secret Service, since they were obligated to protect him. It appears he made millions, but the cost to the integrity of the presidency was far greater. Now, let's try comparing this to other past presidents. Protecting a sitting president has always been costly, but Trump's security expenses are on an entirely different level. For example, the cost of security for Barack Obama was also substantial, but it didn't involve payments to properties he owned. Most of these expenses were limited to travel, accommodations, and logistics, not direct payments to businesses he could profit from personally. Similarly, George W. Bush incurred significant security costs, particularly after leaving office, with his ranch in Texas. However, like with Obama, those expenses didn't involve payments to his own enterprises. This stark difference raises a lot of ethical questions about Trump's security expenses. The Secret Service's spending at Trump's properties is just one piece of the larger cost puzzle. The overall expense of protecting Trump, including travel, lodging, and logistics, is estimated to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. This includes Air Force One flights, motorcades, and extensive security measures for his frequent visits to his private properties. For example, each Mar-a-Lago trip was estimated to cost around $3 million. Considering that Trump made 146 trips to Mar-a-Lago during his presidency, the total cost of these visits is staggering. The expenses cover not just Secret Service lodging, but also the transportation of staff, equipment, and vehicles. Trump's frequent travel also had a major impact on local economies. Palm Beach County, for instance, estimated that each of Trump's visits to Mar-a-Lago cost around $60,000 in security and logistical expenses. Throughout Trump's time in office, these costs accumulated to millions, placing a heavy burden on local budgets and resources. Beyond direct expenses, there were also indirect costs associated with protecting Trump. For example, the disruptions caused by his frequent travel affected local businesses and residents. Roads were often closed, and air traffic restricted, leading to significant delays and inconveniences. The cost of protecting Trump didn't end when his presidency did. Even as a former president, Trump continues to receive Secret Service protection, and the expenses continue to rise. The Secret Service remains responsible for protecting him and his family, and these ongoing costs are considerable. In 2021, it was reported that the Secret Service spent around $30,000 just on golf cart rentals to protect Trump at his properties. This is just one example of the ongoing security costs. Moreover, during Trump's visit to Las Vegas after the October 2017 mass shooting, he stayed at his own hotel, costing taxpayers $331,000. To justify such high security costs for Trump, there are extremely rigorous measures that must be in place at all times. So, what exactly are these measures? They include physical protection, where Secret Service agents form a human shield around the president, ready to neutralize any immediate threat. This technique has proven effective multiple times, such as protecting Richard Nixon from a Latin American mob and Ronald Reagan during an assassination attempt. The formation is strategically planned, with agents positioned to cover all angles, ensuring that any potential attacker is swiftly dealt with. Tactical driving is another essential part of presidential security. Secret Service drivers undergo intense training in both defensive and offensive driving techniques. They learn maneuvers like three-point J-turns, high-speed reversing, and ramming other vehicles safely. These skills ensure that the president can be evacuated immediately in case of danger, making these drivers some of the best in the world. Secret Service agents are also trained to remain calm when shot at. During training exercises, they are hit with mock bullets that leave a colored mark and a minor sting but cause no serious harm. This prepares them to keep performing their duties even if shot, ensuring the president's safety at all times. Such training is crucial to ensure agents remain composed and effective when facing real threats. Constant surveillance is another critical component of presidential security. Since President Kennedy's assassination in 1963, every presidential motorcade has been meticulously recorded by the Secret Service. These recordings are vital for identifying threats and suspects in case of an attack. Cameras are strategically placed to cover every angle, ensuring that no detail goes unnoticed. Crowd scanning is an essential skill for Secret Service agents, especially when the president is in close proximity to the public. Agents are always scanning the area, looking for suspicious behavior like hands in pockets or bulges under jackets. Their sunglasses, often completely blacked out, allow them to do this discreetly, ensuring that no potential threat is overlooked. This constant vigilance is critical for preventing close-range attacks. Planning presidential trips is a complex process that requires months of meticulous preparation. Secret Service agents make sure airspace is cleared, motorcade routes are mapped out, and low-risk hotels are pre-selected. They also identify hospitals and safe locations along the way in case the president needs medical attention or evacuation. This level of detail minimizes the risk of any unforeseen threats. The president is always under watch, which might seem invasive, but is necessary for their safety. From campaign trails to post-presidency, security is ever present. This constant surveillance can be burdensome, as President Nixon felt when he replaced his Secret Service detail with private security in 1985. Nonetheless, agents are trained to be discreet yet vigilant, ensuring the president's safety without being overly intrusive. Secret Service agents are also trained in Systema, a brutal Russian martial art used by KGB and Spetsnaz forces. Systema focuses on controlling an attacker's biomechanics, making it nearly impossible for someone to take out the president at close range. These simple yet effective techniques allow agents to neutralize threats swiftly and efficiently. Food security is another crucial measure to prevent poisoning. The Secret Service closely monitors the cooking process when the president dines at unvetted locations. Exceptions are made for trusted venues like Buckingham Palace. For takeout, orders are placed at nearby establishments so the chefs don't know they're preparing food for the president. This ensures that no harmful substances are added. Mail screening is a sophisticated process used to detect threats sent through the mail. Handwritten letters are scanned and compared to documents in the Secret Service database, while typed letters are analyzed using an ink database. This method helps narrow down the search and identify the sender. The meticulous process ensures that any threats are intercepted before reaching the president. Marine One, the president's helicopter, is equipped with advanced missile defense systems, including flares, chaff to create interference, and infrared jamming technology. This helicopter is part of a fleet that includes decoy helicopters to obscure the president's real location. Every member of the HMX-1 squadron must pass rigorous background checks to ensure the utmost security for the aircraft. This ensures that the president can travel by air safely, with multiple layers of defense firmly in place. The official residence of the president, the White House, is protected by a complex network of infrared lasers, a no-fly zone, and surface-to-air missiles. Despite these stringent measures, there have still been incidents where individuals have tried to breach the security perimeter, emphasizing the constant need for high-level vigilance. security measures at the White House are continuously updated and improved to counter emerging threats, ensuring that the president's residence remains one of the most secure locations in the world. Air Force One, the president's aircraft, is a specially modified Boeing 747 with an almost unlimited range due to its in-flight refueling capabilities. The plane is equipped with advanced defensive measures, including protection against electromagnetic pulses and encrypted communication systems. The interior of the aircraft is lavishly outfitted, featuring a private office for the president, a medical suite, and kitchens capable of preparing meals for up to 100 people. All of this ensures that the president can travel safely and comfortably, with every necessary amenity readily available on board. The Beast, the president's limousine, is essentially a fortress on wheels. Weighing up to 9,000 kilograms, it has 20 centimeters thick armor-plated doors, bulletproof windows, and a reinforced steel undercarriage. The interior of the vehicle can be sealed off completely to protect against chemical attacks. The trunk is stocked with tear gas canisters, rifles, grenade launchers, oxygen tanks, night vision cameras, and blood reserves matching the president's blood type. Despite its extraordinary security features, the Beast is notorious for being difficult to drive and prone to mechanical issues, which makes it a rare sight on the road. With all these measures in place, it's evident that this rigorous security system ensures President Donald Trump is shielded from countless potential threats. From cutting-edge surveillance technology to highly trained Secret Service agents, every detail is meticulously planned and executed to safeguard the president. Nowadays, more than ever, we can question how these strict security measures impact the people around the president, including his family and friends. Trump's security measures have a significant effect on others, most notably his family. Melania Trump and their son, Barron, have had to adapt to a life of constant 24/7 surveillance and protection. During the early months of Trump's presidency, Melania and Barron chose to remain in New York, residing at Trump Tower. This decision required a heavy security presence, including road closures and a thick police presence surrounding the building. Local residents and business owners expressed frustration, complaining about travel disruptions and revenue losses due to these heightened security measures. The cost of protecting the Trump family has also been a point of contention. The New York Police Department estimated that protecting Melania and Barron in New York cost between $125,000 and $146,000 per day. These expenses were funded by taxpayer dollars, sparking heated debates over the use of public money. Additionally, employees at Trump-owned properties, including hotels, golf courses, and resorts, have felt the impact of these security measures. The constant presence of Secret Service agents and security personnel created tension and disruptions in their daily routines. For instance, employees at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, reported feeling uncomfortable and restricted under the tight security whenever Trump visited. The heightened security demands also required more rigorous background checks, adding complexity to the work environment. It's not only Trump's employees who have been affected, the general public has also experienced disruptions due to his security measures. One of the biggest impacts has been the disruption of public spaces and events. Whenever Trump traveled, entire areas were often shut down, causing traffic jams and inconveniencing local residents and businesses. During his presidency, his frequent visits to Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, left locals frustrated by road closures and increased security measures. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office estimated that each of Trump's visits cost around $60,000 in security expenses. Furthermore, protests and demonstrations against Trump often faced a massive security presence, which led to clashes with protesters. One notable event occurred during the 2016 Republican National Convention in Cleveland, Ohio, where thousands of protesters gathered to express their opposition to Trump's candidacy. The city deployed thousands of police officers and established a strict security perimeter around the convention site. This led to multiple confrontations, arrests, and injuries. Another large-scale incident happened during Trump's visit to the United Kingdom in 2018. The trip was marked by widespread protests and significantly increased security measures, including thousands of police officers and the establishment of no-fly zones in certain areas. These precautions led to severe traffic congestion and public transportation disruptions, causing annoyance and discomfort among local residents. Clearly, the security for Trump comes at a very high price, and unfortunately, those around him have to bear the consequences, both mentally and physically. Despite controversies and challenges, the relationship between Donald Trump and the Secret Service has remained one of mutual respect and cooperation. Trump's private security team, known for its loyalty, works closely with government agencies to ensure seamless protection. This collaboration creates a multi-layered security network that can adapt to any situation. The world of presidential security is high stakes, where every decision can be the difference between life and death. For Trump, the combined efforts of the Secret Service, his private security team, and other government agencies form a solid shield against myriad threats. Their work, often unrecognized and sometimes underappreciated, is a testament to their dedication and bravery. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out more amazing content on our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.